So these are some pieces that I can be proud of. I don't know how well you can see the sparkle, but oh yeah, I've kept them out here so that they can just kind of dry and be safe. But there you go. These are the parts going on the bike, and they're looking pretty fly. All right, let's get back at it. Welcome back to the channel today, guys. It is time to get this Harley Davidson back together. As you can see, the front fender is already on, looking fine. Now we have to put the gas tank on, and the oil tank, and the rear fender, which is going to be a real doozy of a job because I think I have to pull the shocks off, at least the top, so I can loosen it up, because there's no way I'm getting my hand in around the wheel. It's either that or remove the rear wheel. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to get in there just by taking the shocks off. But if you remember back to the video of dismantling this guy, I may or may not have noted that we had hose clamps, focus, that were single-use PEX or PEX style hose clamps on every hose connector. Well, you have to destroy these to get them off. So now we are just going with the standard worm drive screw hose clamp. Whether or not you think they're ideal, it doesn't matter. That's what we're going with over these. Number one, because I don't have any of these. And number two, because you need like a special crimp tool to get them on, and that's just not going to happen. So before I do anything, I'm going to match up sizes to what we need on the bike. A lot of these smaller ones are going to do the trick, but I need to put on at least one on the gas tank, I believe, because the gas comes down. This is just the vent, I believe, and then this one needs replaced on the gas line. So I think that's pretty easy. Then we have 2 bolts to put through, and the gas tank's done. Oil tank, I think we have 3. We've got these 2 down here. That one's a little bigger, and then I think this is the last one. So all in all, not a big terrible job. But it doesn't even look like this one had a clamp on it. I don't see a mark on the hose. So that might just be a vent. Maybe I don't need one on that one. So anyway, I'll figure that part out. We can get both tanks on. I am going to do the tanks first because I need to get in here to have easier access to screw back the tank, the oil tank. So I'm going to do the fender last. So let's get tanks on. Alright, so on the other side of the oil tank, I got the 3 7/16 bolts in, so they are all secured. This is why I left the fender off, so I could get that one tightened really easily. And now we're going to work on the 1/2-inch bolts. There are 3. The oil box, or I'm sorry, the battery box screws into the oil. I'm not going to get this correct. The battery box screws into the oil tank. There we go. From this end. So we're going to work on screwing those in, securing that up, all while making sure all the lines are out of the way. They are all tight. Got the 3 lines on the bottom, and even replaced the zip tie that was around the wiring here. Got these little corner doohickeys back on the oil tank so that I guess it's not rubbing the wires. And yeah, we'll be in pretty good shape with this stuff. And I'm gonna throw the battery back on, or throw the battery box on, and I'll throw the battery back in, and then we'll just have to finish up the gas tank. The gas tank has a nut on this side and a bolt on the other side. Tighten that down. Same thing on the front here. And then, ooh, look at that. Look at that paint. Pretty. Woo! And then I have to attach the breather tube on the other side and put the gas line back on and clamp that down. Oil tank installed, check. Gas tank installed, check. Let me show you what we got here. 1/2-inch bolt. Oh, where are we at? There you go. 1/2-inch bolt there with the nut on the other side. 1/2-inch bolt with the nut on the other side. Now this holds your ignition coils up in place. There's a bracket there, so make sure you don't forget to put them in. And then this has risers, and your throttle cables are running right here. I don't know if this is factory or if this is just the way they did it when they installed the risers, but there's this bracket here that holds the throttle cables in place. Probably should check that quick. Seems good to me. All right, so front fender, tank. Now for the dreaded rear fender. Got to get that on, and then the little cover on this side won't be hard. I'm just leaving the battery off until we're ready to, till we're done. I have the battery on a charger way back there in a corner. See it on top of that dryer or washing machine, whatever that is. I don't know. Good news is the Shadow battery is fully charged. I probably shouldn't be stopping and showing you this, but let me just show you where I'm at. First, I tried jacking up the rear. I went and bought a new bottle jack. The bottle jack was fine, but this kept sliding out. So I tried, nothing worked. So what I did was grab my bumper stand, which luckily I had. Hopefully this all works out. And I ratcheted, strapped, and drew this thing up. Now, I took the shocks off thinking I could get more travel. Well, that was a bad idea because then the thing sagged the whole way down and I couldn't. That was definitely the wrong idea. So the shocks don't actually keep it down. The shocks keep it up. So anyway, I got it ratcheted up now. Seems pretty solid. I probably need to move all this stuff in case we do fall. Get this out of the way. But now I think there's room for me to get my arm under there. All this just to get this dumb little screw in the rear fender. So I'm gonna go grab the rear fender, move all this stuff out of the way, screw that screw in, and make sure I don't need to get in there again. And I will let everything down safely onto the ground. But for now, we're a little precarious. I probably would have jacked this up to the ceiling, but there's a door in the way and there's nothing to strap to. So this is what we got. Let's hope that I can get it on. I'm going to stop and say a prayer because thank God, hallelujah, this bolt is in. So all I really had to do was, So we have the jack system hanging here. You see that's starting to bow? I don't trust that for very much longer. But I ended up using this this magnet to put the bolt up and around. I cannot get my hands in there. Even though there's more room, I can't reach the whole way underneath here. My arm's not long enough. And then I can't get my hand up in here. So I had to use this magnet, and I was able to fish the bolt up through and then catch the nut with it. And then what I did was use this giant conglomerate of 1/2-inch socket into swivel, into extension, into another extension, and I was able to help turn it and hold it onto it from there. So bolts in, this vent tube or whatever it is in place. Make sure that's not being pinched or anything. Other than that, I plugged in the lighting for the tail light. Runs up underneath this cross member for the frame, and then you fish it underneath there, and then that plugs in to its proper position right there. So now I need to put the shocks back on because I have it jacked up. That'll be a good time to put them on. Might be too high at the moment, so I'll have to carefully do that. And you know what? Maybe what I'll do, I will put all of this stuff back in together while it is in this position, and then we'll be good. Oh, I can't wait to have this puppy done. She's looking great though. Okay, well, I got the license plate back on. I almost forgot to put that on before I really mounted it. Got this thing safely on the floor. Got the shocks put back in. And I'll tighten all that up when I'm done with this sucker. 5/8 bolt head on the inside here. And that puts your turn signal back in line. I gotta do that here. You see it screws into the housing right there. So I'm gonna screw that part in. Where is it? I just had it a second ago. Well, I'll find that. And then it's just a couple more bolts to hold that fender on. And then I gotta put the seat back together. So, looking good.